Hey folks, Dave from Summit Racing again, back to talk about some new products from 2022. And today we have Mike from AutoMeter as our guest, and Mike's going to tell us a little bit about some of the new additions to the InVision dash line. Mike, thanks for being here, and just tell us a little bit about the InVision dash line itself, and then we'll get into the specific new year, make, model ranges you have.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate being here. I'm happy to explain what we got going on. So InVision has been probably the biggest new product launch, in the last couple of decades for AutoMeter. It's just been extremely successful. The platform's all based around kind of the same screen. So they're all a 12.3 inch LCD. And on that screen, you're going to be able to have your full set of instrumentation available to you. So instead of having, a set of, 6 round gauges, in a dash panel, we've kind of updated the technology on that. And now we've got your full 6 gauge set in an LCD configuration. So you're still getting the same, AutoMeter internals with your tach, speedo, fuel level, oil pressure, water temperature, and volts, all displayed on the screen. But we're just doing it in a different form factor now. So we're taking kind of the more modern look that you get in today's vehicles and, porting that over to, yesterday's classics. So, with that full screen, you get a lot of different features. It comes with everything you need to complete the installation. And, when you're putting it in, you're not modifying the existing vehicle really in any way. The factory piece kind of comes out. This one goes right in its place. You're utilizing all the existing factory mounting holes. So yeah, it's a great product. Like I said, we've had a couple out already, and we've got, as you mentioned, 2 coming out now. As far as the features go, it's your full 6 gauge set, but then you're also going to get warnings for every instrument. So, if you will have a couple presets in there to kind of help guide you along and kind of those key warning areas, but you can set them up for each parameter, and it'll bring in on-screen warning, bring up basically a red icon, indicate, there's a warning condition to be aware of, but then there's also an audible option. So if you're not paying attention to the dash, there's a speaker built into the backside that will actually buzz at you, kind of like a factory car and internal alarm would do as well. So you've got multiple warnings there. You have 4 screens that you can choose from, which is one of the really cool features of InVision. So if you like one today and one tomorrow, you can easily swap back and forth. And one of them even has the ability to do color changing too. So if you want, green or red or blue or whatever to match your vehicle, you'll have the option to do that. And the programming is super simple. So there's no touch screen because we don't want anybody reaching through, their steering wheel trying to mess with settings or anything like that. So it's all a joystick. It's basically you twist left and right, push to click kind of navigation, super easy to set up. So, kind of all the different features I was talking about, whether it's, the warning features, programming all of your different settings, whether it's, what fuel level resistance you've got on the application, how many cylinders is your engine to get your tach calibrated, doing your calibration for the speedometer. It's going to be compatible with your OEM sensors, aftermarket sensors, GPS sensors, and all of this is going to be, programmed through, the joystick that comes with each of the InVision kits. Okay.
Yeah, you really mentioned kind of there at the outset, no cutting modification required, meant to be an easy swap in. What about wiring? The harnesses come with that, and how does the wiring work?
Yeah, appreciate the question. Yeah, so it does come with a universal wire harness. So basically, it's going to plug right into the back of the panel, and then from there you're going to have one power and ground, and then just running wires to each of your signals. So one to the fuel level sensor, one for speed, tach, basically everything. And then you're also going to get a water temperature and an oil pressure sender along with that. So those are just going to be the standard, same, high-end AutoMeter 1/8 inch NPT sending units that we use on any of our electronic, water temperature and oil pressure gauges. So we include that in the kit as well.
Okay. Display size these are 12.3, I believe, right? At least the new ones are. Is that correct?
Yeah. The existing ones are 12.3 as well as the new ones coming out. So yeah, we're using the same screen on all applications. Super bright, vibrant, easy to see, high resolution. We've got some really cool graphics that are kind of rolled into the screen as well. So when you look at an InVision dash, it truly looks like you're looking at a modern vehicle dash. It's really cool.
That's awesome. So the new, I guess, applications that we're really featuring today would be, I believe, a Fox body and a Chevy truck, correct? So what's the latest applications that the InVision's available for?
Yeah, so those are the two new platforms. So you've got the Fox body, so 87 to 93 Mustangs. Again, just a direct fit into that one. And then for the Chevy trucks, that's for the 95 to 98 applications. Our first one that we launched was for the square body Chevy trucks, was a tremendous success, and we kind of timed that really well because that was really kind of the hot vehicle here over the past couple of years. And we kind of feel the same way about the two that we have coming out. I think a little bit more popularity maybe towards the Fox body. That seems to be kind of the go-to vehicle here that I've been seeing kind of, every builder seems to be, gravitating towards. So, but yeah, we're really excited about both. And because they're a little bit more late model than some of the previous ones that we've coming out with, there's actually warning features that are built into. So I talked about the warnings for the water and the oil and whatnot, but there's also on-panel warnings to coincide with what was there from the factory. So there's like an ABS, you've got a battery warning, things of that nature. So we actually rolled those into the panel as well to make sure that it's still, everything plugs it into the factory application and still works properly. Because you're starting to get into the OBD type stuff at the, once you cross that 96-year line. So there's different warnings and things that are there from the factory that certainly weren't there in the 70s and 80s.
Right. Yeah. You mentioned the development of these newer applications. What are some of the other ones you have out available in the line for people?
Yeah, so the original one we launched was the square body Chevy trucks. So that's 73 to 87, so pretty wide ranging number of years for that one. We have a universal fit piece. So that one, basically, as long as you can cut out a rectangle that panel will fit into, you could put into virtually any application. I mean, these are extremely versatile dashes. You have the ability to customize fuel level resistances. I think we have 7 pre-programmed resistances in there. So whether you have a Ford sender, a GM sender, kind of the universal standard type sender, we have all sorts of different ones that are pre-baked in there. So, but yeah, we've got the square body Chevy truck, we have the universal, and then we've also got the Chevy G body, which would be the El Camino, the Malibu, and it's escaping me, giving me 1 second here. The Monte Carlo, excuse me. Shame on me for forgetting the Monte Carlo. But yeah, so the 7005 is going to cover those 3 applications, and then we've got the 2 with the Mustang and the Chevy trucks coming out, and then we've got some more on the horizon if I can touch on those real quick. So
absolutely,
continuing the development, like I said, InVision's been a huge success for us, and we're definitely putting a lot of eggs into this basket and kind of continuing to develop more applications. So we've got the Plymouth A body coming out soon. That's the Duster, Demon, and Dart. I think the range for that is 70, 76, if I remember correctly. And then we've also got another platform for another Mustang application for the 67, 68. So those are kind of the 2 coming out here on the horizon. But certainly we have more that we'll be developing here very soon. So, basically expect to see a new InVision application, every couple months or so, because like I said, that's definitely the direction that we're heading into the future here.
Yep. Good stuff now, good stuff in the future. Let's talk a little bit about the TAC too. I believe, it's adjustability on that, right?
Yeah, so that's the great thing about InVision. And just like, with pretty much all of our pedestal mount or in-dash tachometers, they have the ability to adjust for different cylinder types. So not that you would have a 1-cylinder application that you would necessarily want to put InVision into, but we have the ability to calibrate all the way down to a half pulse, which would be for a 1-cylinder application. And we go all the way up to 12 cylinders. So, if you've got that Lamborghini you want to put this into, you have more power to you. But yeah, so basically anywhere in between there. So your typical 4, 6, 8 cylinder, but then we also cover a wide range of other applications beyond that. And we're using, again, the same, circuitry that is inside our pedestal and in-dash tachometers. So, electrical noise and things of that nature are going to be of no concern. It hooks up the same as the rest of our stuff, compatible with MSD ignitions or any of the other, aftermarket ignition systems that are out there. If you've got points or, anything of that nature, it should work right out of the box. Otherwise, we do offer adapters and things to help get you across the line there.
Awesome. Yep. Well, Mike, we appreciate you joining us. We're excited to have these brand new InVision kits at summerracing.com, as well as all the other AutoMeter InVision kits and the entire AutoMeter line. So go ahead and check it out over at summerracing.com. Mike, thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And all the best. Thank you.